1, 2, 3, and 4. Count what you have now. Don't count what you don't have. Count what you have now. Don't count what you don't have. Find that you have so.
Tetris. Alright, so a lot of people don't know this, but Tetris is the most downloaded game of all time. I mean, and that makes sense. It's pretty old and it's pretty good. So about a month ago, some idiot found a Tetris game that wasn't blocked on our school Wi-Fi. Now everybody is absolutely addicted to that game. All of my friends are trying to compete for a Tetris high score. Now the problem with that is I kind of suck, like really bad. I am so useless at Tetris. So how can we beat Tetris with code? Now Tetris is a pretty complicated game. No, it's not. I'm just saying that because I'm bad at it. It's actually a really simple game. So coding something to beat it shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, so that was wrong. Very wrong. I'm actually stuck on the first part of it, which is coding the Tetris game itself. Yes, I know I could just go online and use somebody else's, but that is dishonest. That clip was about 2 hours ago. At this point, I've given up on honesty as a whole, and I've decided to sacrifice my morals to save time. Basically, I stole somebody else's code. I don't care, okay? I'm coding the AI. The goal was never to code Tetris. The goal was to code an AI to beat Tetris. Now it stands that if I can't code Tetris, how the hell am I gonna code an AI to beat it? But that's a separate issue. Alright, so now that I had a Tetris game, albeit not my own, now we get on to the good stuff, the coding the AI to beat the game. I didn't know where to start, so well, my number one Tetris strategy is just press shit randomly and hope it all goes well. So that's what I told the bot to do. Literally, I just told it to press random shit and... yeah, so somehow that didn't work, so I had to go back to the drawing board. So that was 5 months ago. Yep, 5 months. Five months. That's such a long time. Wow. So I was about halfway through recording this video when I quit YouTube. And I was going through all the footage that I recorded and edited before I quit YouTube, and I realized that I suck at explaining things. So this is my second attempt at explaining what I'm trying to do. Basically, what I want to do is create an algorithm that can determine all the possible end results every time a new piece is added to the board. Now, to put this into visual terms, here is a blank Tetris board, okay? Now, suddenly, let's say this 4-block rectangle appears as a really common Tetris piece. Now, what we want the computer to do is analyze this piece and see, hey, where all could this end up? By that I mean, by the time this Tetris is firmly in place somewhere on the board, where are all the possible places it could be? Now, again, this is really difficult to explain, but bear with me. Okay, here is our piece, okay? And now, it could end up here, or it could end up here, or it could end up here, or here, or here, or here. Do you see what I mean now? Basically, we're just trying to understand where all we could put any piece. We're trying to show the computer these are all the options we have before us, and we need to choose which one is best. Now, as far as choosing which one is best goes, it's a little more complicated. We have to come up with a set of rules for the computer to follow so that it can sort of score each possible move and understand which one is best. Now, thankfully, Tetris is quite simple in this scenario because there's not too much thinking ahead required. So it doesn't have to be thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead. It can just think about the current move and still do pretty okay. So we need to come up with some things that we don't want the computer to do, because it's way easier to tell a computer what not to do than what to do. Sounds pretty simple, right? Okay, so I know nothing about this game, so I'm gonna go ask people what to do. I don't know, I'll be right. Okay, so I went to talk to some sweaty Tetris nerds. What I learned is that this is a classic shitty Tetris move. Why is it a classic shitty Tetris move? I'll tell you why it is a classic shitty Tetris move. Because it makes holes. We don't want holes. Why don't we want holes? It's very, very simple, in fact. It's because now suddenly, bada bing, bada boom, this entire line can't be solved. But because there's a hole there and it's blocked off. This is a much better move, because it is still possible for us to clear all the lines. So what I'm going to tell the computer is to never make a move that creates a hole. Sounds pretty simple, right? Let's see what it does. Okay, yeah, I kind of had a feeling that wouldn't be enough. I think the thing with the computer is you can't really give it any room to breathe, because it always just goes to the loophole. So instead of playing the game properly, I think it's come up with the brilliant strategy of just stacking all the pieces on top of each other, because technically speaking, that doesn't make holes. Okay, so now what I've added is I've added some code that will punish a move that increases the height. It doesn't forbid a move, but it punishes a move. So now the computer is looking for 2 things. It's looking for a move that doesn't create a hole, and a move that is like low down. Alright, so where does that leave us? It reached a final score of 137, which is not bad at all. It's evident that it's not perfect because, I mean, just look at the end screen. There were holes everywhere, which tells me there's something seriously wrong with my hole detection algorithm, because I did tell the game specifically not to do that. However, the AI has outperformed my expectations, by which I mean it did better than me. There were a lot of points coding this where I just did not think I'd be able to manage to make it in the end, but I did, and I'm very happy with the final result. If you guys have any ideas on how I could improve it, I'd be happy to hear them in the comments. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!